Hello, 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 hello. Good day, everyone. You're welcome to another episode of Smart Parenting webinar with Oluwatoyin Ogukomi. And today I have another interesting topic that we'll be discussing. We're discussing how parents can guide the adolescent through life challenges. And as you're joining, I'd like you to go to the chat box, tell us where you're watching from, and also tell us what your expectations are for this webinar. So, my name is Oluwatoyin Ogunkomi. I'm a family psychologist. I work with parents and adolescents. I help them in, I guide them in by providing them with tools and resources in connecting with the adolescents and also in living a thriving life. So, before we go into the challenges adolescents face while growing up, I'll start by talking about who an adolescent is. For those, in case you're just joining me for the first time and you've not been in any of my sessions, I like starting with definition of what we're discussing. And since we're discussing adolescents are individuals between the ages of 10 and 24. And this period is a period whereby they're going through a lot of changes, a lot of changes happening through them. And because they're going through a lot of changes, they might also be experiencing a lot of challenges. So, before we go into what these challenges are, like I said, your adolescent is an individual who is between the ages of 10 and 24. And this stage, adolescent stage, is characterized by rapid physical, emotional, and social changes. And these changes or this period can also be challenging, like I said. And for parents, this period might also be a challenging period for them because they are not, so for some parents, they're wondering, why is my child acting or behaving like this? What is happening? Why is my child going through a mood swing or the other? Why is my child exhibiting certain behavior? So this period might also be a bit challenging for parents. So what are the challenges children might go through during this period? There's so many challenges. I've written about 10 challenges down. I'll mention all the challenges. Then I will now talk about how we can help them in solving or providing solution focused strategies for them. So, the first challenge most adolescents go through is the challenge of identity formation. What do I mean by identity formation? Your child is trying to grapple with the evolving self, there's the sense of self. They're trying to explore different interests, different values, and beliefs, and sometimes they might question the beliefs that you have actually, the beliefs, the values you've actually taught them in the past. And when this happens, this can lead to confusion and uncertainty in the adolescents. And as parents, this is the period we really need to be around them. This is the period we need to reinforce all the things we've taught them so that they will not miss it or so that they don't make mistakes during this period. So, identity formation, trying to understand who they are, trying to understand their role and their place in society. This is one major challenge adolescents face. Another challenge adolescents might face is peer pressure. The influence of peers at this particular time is a significant factor in their life. Why? Because they want to affiliate more with their friends, they want to interact more with their friends, they want to be accepted. I'm sorry about that. They want to be accepted by their friends. They want to be accepted by their friends. They want to belong to the friend group. They want to interact with their friends, And because of this period might be characterized with what we know as peer pressure and peer influence. And one of the things I tell parents is that there's a difference between peer pressure and there's a difference between peer pressure and peer influence. When we talk about peer pressure is when um, a friend is exacting or is coercing them to do things they don't want to do. Well, peer influence is the fact that they're around their friends, they're saying things their friends are doing, and they become interested, or they become, they just tag along, and before they know it, they start doing what their friends are doing. So that is the second challenge most adolescents. So I'm talking about the common challenges faced by adolescents. The first I mentioned is identity formation. The second is peer pressure. The third is social media and technology. I don't know if I don't know those that are watching, if you were in my class that I spoke about the characteristics of the 21st century adolescent. And one of the characteristics of the 21st century adolescent is the fact that they are technologically driven. So they communicate via technology, they learn via technology, they entertain themselves via technology. And this can be a major challenge for them in terms of not being able to manage time, and them being able to manage their time, cyberbullying, having issues with distorted body image, having a distorted sense of reality, because what they are seeing online, they might assume that this is how the world is. Unfortunately for them, unfortunately, they're seeing people just posting the best version of themselves. So I see adolescents trying to keep in shape, trying to look like people they see online. Unknowingly to these children, what these people post online, there's just the best version of themselves. Some of them would have done a lot of Photoshop to post that perfect picture. And for some adolescents, they don't understand it. And that's why it's crucial for parents to guide your adolescent during this period, especially teaching them how to use technology responsibly. I have an ebook which is called the Family Media Guide, where I wrote in the ebook I wrote how parents can teach their adolescents, can teach their children to use technology responsibly. Now, another stress or another challenge adolescents experience during this period is academic stress or academic pressure. The fact that they're trying to balance schoolwork, they're trying to balance extracurricular activity, trying to balance their social life. So all this might be overwhelming. Trying to remember that I have a homework, trying to remember the fact that, oh, I want to post online, I want to do something online, or trying to remember, oh, I have extracurricular activities, I want to go and play basketball, I need to do my ballet classes, or I need to do my table tennis classes. All this might be overwhelming to them, and this can lead to anxiety, this can lead to sleep deprivation, this can also lead to burnout if not managed effectively. And that's why, like I said, it's important for parents to help their teenagers, to help their adolescents in during this period. So we cannot just say, because, oh, they should know what to do, they should know how to manage their time. If we've not taught them how to manage their time effectively, this is an overwhelming period for them. Why? Because they're trying to balance academic, they're trying to balance social life, they're trying to balance extracurricular activity. And this might lead to anxiety. I remember there was a time I had a session with some final year students in a school. The school, the parents invited me to speak with the children, of the school. So we did like a team bonding activity whereby I went to the park, I spoke with the children, and I asked questions. So what's happening? Most of them was like they just feel anxious about the upcoming exam. In fact, some of them said, oh, I've stopped reading because the pressure is just too much, pressure from school, pressure from home, and they said, some of them developed anxiety. And for parents, thankful, these parents were very, very observant. That's why they invited me as a psychologist to come and speak with these children. So, as parents, it's important that we are in the lives of our children so we can identify these challenges and we are able to work with them and have like a solution focused strategy on helping them in solving this problem. So, I've spoken about four challenges. I spoke about identity formation. I spoke about peer pressure, social media and technology, academic stress. I will also talk about Okay, acceptance and belonging, that's under identity formation. I'll talk about, the pressure to um, distractions. Okay, we've spoken about distractions of technologies and social media. Now, managing their mental health is another challenge for adolescents. I mentioned the fact that when they find themselves in situations where they feel overwhelmed, it might lead to anxiety. Anxiety is a mental disorder. Anxiety, especially if the anxiety is empowering the child to do what he or she is meant to do. Maybe it's affecting the child's ability to study, it's affecting the child's ability to interact with other people, it's affecting the way the child thinks and feel. Then we say that anxiety, yeah, because so anxiety, when someone is diagnosed to be clinically and clinically to have anxiety, it's different from when someone is anxious. Now, when adolescents are not able to manage the stress around them, when they're not able to manage challenges they're facing, it might actually lead to a mental illness or a mental disorder. Now, another challenge adolescents face is learning to balance independence and responsibility. Your adolescent wants to be independent. Your adolescent wants to, they just want to have their own way and have their own say. And one of the things tell parents, especially when I work with parents, especially parents that I coach directly, is I work with them. I tell them you have to learn to balance giving your child independence and ensuring that they're responsible. Without responsibility, there can be no independence. So, as parents, that is one thing we need to also learn how to do, how to give our adolescents, how to empower them while they're seeking independence. And the way you can empower them is by ensuring they're responsible. Another challenge they might face is the changing family dynamics. One of the things I've noticed now is that due to, would I say, the work society, that we have a lot of family dynamics that were not in existence before. Now we have blended families. Now we have so many um, disruptions in the family dynamics, and this can actually affect the child or affect the teenager. When you have maybe parents are separated, we have maybe a single parent, we have a child that doesn't even have a relationship with either of the parents, maybe either doesn't have a relationship with the mom or doesn't have a relationship with the father. That can also be a challenge for them. Then we also have parental neglect. That is another challenge. Yeah, I know we need to go and make money. I know we need to be out there to make money to provide for our children, but please, that is not a license for us to neglect them. And one thing I've seen is adolescents, they want to be around their parents. They want their parents, they're seeking love from their parents, they're seeking attention from their parents, they're seeking, they just want this affection from their parents. And if you as a parent, you're not around them, yeah, like I said, I understand you need to work, you need to make money, I understand all that. It's given. But please, let's not do that at the expense of raising our children or at the expense of neglecting our children, because that is a major challenge for adolescents, especially in this generation. They say the parents are not available for them to speak with, the parents are not available for them to share things happening with them. Now, one of the things I've noticed, especially with my daughter, is whenever she comes back from school, she's ready to pour out everything that's happened to her during the day. So you can imagine your child wanting to do that with you and you're not there, you're not available. The child would feel neglected. The child would feel, my mom is just too busy, my dad is just too busy for me. Please, that is another major challenge that adolescents are going through, because yeah, this is a period parents are busy making money. This is a period that we have parents in either middle management or senior management. And of course, I know the fact that you need to be there. You need to be there in terms of your job. You need to be there in terms of you need to be there to be able to provide for your children. But please, let's balance um providing for our children and also being present for our children. So let's go straight into how we can help them to resolve this. I've given about more than 10 challenges that adolescents face. I spoke about identity formation, I spoke about peer pressure, I spoke about social media and distraction, social media distraction. Yes, I didn't even speak about dating and relationship. That's another challenge they're faced through. One of the things we need to know as parents is that their emotional brain is fully developed while the rational brain is still developing. So all the hormones, pumping in them, these will make them attracted to the opposite sex. And yes, they would want to date. And as parents, it's important that we have what we know as a dating guide in the home so your children will know what is expected of them now that they're adolescent. Yeah, one of the things I tell my daughter that yeah, you can have friends, but please don't put a label to that relationship. The moment you put a label that, oh, we're dating, everything anything the guy is asking. So don't put a label to. You can have friends. You have friends in your class. Maybe you like this person because this person is academically sound, or you like this person because this person is in terms of his sports and all that. Yeah, but avoid putting a label to it. So identity formation, peer pressure, dating, distractions, social media. I spoke about parent neglect. I spoke about cyberbullying. I spoke about so many things. So if you're just watching, you might need to go through and watch the replay. But I'll give a recap at the end of the session. So the next thing I would like to talk about is the how. So I've spoken about the what the challenges are. Now I want to talk about how. How can we help our children? How can we help our adolescents to overcome or to face these challenges? The first thing we need to know as parents is that when our children are going through challenges, you as the parent, you need to be available. And that's why it's important we have an open communication where we can speak with them and they can speak with us. And the first thing in having an open communication is being able to build trust and understanding with your adolescent. Your ability to listen attentively, your ability to create a safe space for them to express their emotions and thoughts is very, very important. Also, we need to promote emotional intelligence, whereby you teach your adolescent the importance of empathy and understanding of other people's emotion. This skill would also help them with their social situation and teaching them how to set healthy boundaries so that when it comes to peer pressure, peer influence, they've been able to set boundaries, and these boundaries should be based on their values. Because when the boundary is set based on the value, it's sink more. Your child is able to internalize that, or compared to you just telling your child that when anybody says something rude to you, leave. No, explain to the child, let the child understand that when somebody is being mean to you, or when somebody is forcing you or coercing you to do things you do not want to do, if that thing is not in line with your value, stand up and say no. Even if you don't like what the person is doing, you should be able to stand up and say no. And that's where, even in the home, we need to empower our children to speak up. Because when our children can speak up in the home, it will be easier for them to speak up outside. Then, another thing we need to know as parents is that in building trust and understanding, building rapport with our children, we need to use the tool of empathy and validation. If I asked you, do you remember how you felt when you were a teenager when your parents were not available for you? You, mommy, you, daddy, watching me. Do you remember how you felt when your parents were not there for you? How did you feel? I'm sure you didn't like it. You can go to the comment section and write it. How did you feel while growing up and your parents were not available for you? How did you feel? Let's go to the comment section and type. For those here, how did you feel when your parents were not available? You can just type, how did you feel? When mommy, when your daddy, when they were not there, how did you feel? I'm sure it was very, very, heartbroken. I am heartbreaking and all that. And it's the same with our children. They want to talk to you, they want to speak with you, they want to have conversations with you, but you're not there to speak with them. So what do you do? Let's build rapport. Let's build trusting relationship. Let's be empathetic with them. Let them understand that we understand. Let them know that we understand what they are feeling and how they are feeling. Because once your child is able to understand that, oh, when your child is able to, when your child knows that you understand how he or she is feeling, it connects them better with you. So first step is need to build a trusting relationship. It's very, very important to building a trusting relationship. Okay, I have let me my slide. So let me just share my slide here. So, mm, okay, so building a trusting relationship, very important. Using empathy and validation. So what do I mean by empathy and validation? Empathy and validation. Empathy means putting yourself in the child's shoes, trying to feel what the child is going through. Then validation simply means acknowledging what your child is saying, acknowledging what your child is feeling, being able to say, okay, I understand, I hear you, I hear you're upset. Being able to acknowledge your child's feelings and emotions goes a long way in building a trusting relationship with you. I've spoken about open communication, being able to be present, being able to create a safe space for your children to speak with you, being able to, your child wants to talk to you, and this will encourage them to share more with you. I remember recently having a patient that was, she said something about being bullied in school, and she was able to share with this with her parents. And that why was she able to share this with her parents? Because her mom was available for her to talk to. So if as a parent you're not available, your children will not want to. I'm emphasizing being present in their life, in the lives of your children. Then also you're being consistent and being reliable. So if you've promised your child something, ensure that you follow through. Ensure you follow through, ensure you do what you said you would do. Because this will also build a trusting relationship with your child. So if you've told your child, oh, I'm going to do this, please ensure you do what you say you're going to do. Now, another thing we can do with our children in helping them to overcome the challenge, especially the challenge of identity crisis or identity formation. That was the first thing I spoke about, is to empower our adolescents to identify their strengths. Self-awareness is very important, is very key. As parents, let's empower our children to know themselves. A child that knows herself or knows himself is on the way to success. That's one thing I tell parents. Self-awareness is key. Helping your children to know their strengths, their weaknesses, and how can they know this? By having self-reflection. Let them reflect, oh, what are the things I'm good at, what are the things people have told me I'm good at. Let them even explore themselves, let them explore their strengths. Yesterday I think I can do this, let me try doing it. Let them try new things. There's nothing wrong with them trying new things. They can, even if they fail the first time, by the time they go back to go and do it over and over, it becomes easier for them. So empowering adolescents to identify their strengths is very important by self-reflection and exploration. Also, ask the parents, giving them feedback. They tell them, oh, every time you make jollof rice, your jollof rice is so sweet. Oh, I love the way you marinate. These are things I tell my daughter. I love the way she marinates her protein. So whenever I want to cook chicken or turkey or meat, I call her to marinate because I love the way she marinates it, she puts it in the fridge. So these are ways you would help your children to identify their strengths by you giving them feedback. It's important you give them feedback. Oh, I love it when you do XYZ. Oh, I love, let them know what they're good at. And it's very important. Also, let's celebrate the achievements and their progress. Oh, your child has done something great. Let's celebrate. Oh, excellent. This would also boost their morale and this will help them in terms of identity formation. Very important. Then Let them see these challenges as opportunity to grow. So, for example, your child has a challenge of, maybe let me use the social media. You know, maybe your child is always on social media, or your child is always on using technology. That is a major problem. So, what can you do? Turn it into an opportunity for a child to learn discipline. Turn it into an opportunity for a child to learn problem solving or time management. Let your child know that it is not all the time you have to be on social media. It's not all the time you have to be on, So allow the child to come up with their own routine. Come up with your routine. Let me see your routine. We're going to work together. You can't be on social media 24 hours. You can't be on TikTok. No, 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 no. We're going to work together. Come up with your routine and let's do it together. So every problem, every challenge they're facing, please let's turn it into an opportunity to learn. Please, I just want to know, can you see my slide? Are you guys seeing my slide? Please, if you can see my slide, can you just go to the comment section? Let me know if you can see my slide, please. If you can see my slide, please, can you just put it in the comment section that you can see my slide? Hello? I can see you guys. So if you can see my slide, please just put in the comment section that you can see my slide. Okay. So I'm talking about turning problems into opportunities, reframing problems as opportunity. Let them see problems as opportunity. Let them understand that when there's a problem, it's an opportunity for you to either learn something, to stop something, or to continue. It's an opportunity. Problems are opportunities for learning. Problems are opportunity for growth. Problems are opportunity for, to learn a new skill. Very important. So please, let's let's teach them to reframe problems into opportunities. Let them reframe problems into opportunities. Problems are not just problems. Problems are meant to help us to learn. Problems are meant to help us to develop resilience. Problems are there to help us to learn skills and also to help us to adapt. So, for example, your child has a conflict with a friend, or your child has a problem with a friend. That is opportunity to teach the child communication skill. That is also an opportunity to teach the child conflict resolution. So let's encourage them to take a proactive approach whenever they see a problem. Let them not see a problem and want to run away. No, let them see a challenge and turn it into a learning opportunity. I hope you're enjoying it. Can you just put in the comment section what you're learning so far? Put in the comment section, let's know what you've learned so far. Now, another thing we can do to help our adolescents overcome challenges. So, I've spoken about the first thing I spoke about is to ensure that we build a trusting relationship with them. The second is to encourage them to identify their strengths. The third is reframing problems as opportunities. They turn problems into opportunities. They see a problem and they say this challenge is going to help them to develop resilience. This challenge is going to help them to problem solve. This problem is going to teach them conflict resolution or communication. Now, the next thing is, as a parent, is when it comes to these challenges, let's use these challenges as like a goal setting opportunity for them. Let's help them. So you've identified that your child is battling with peer pressure or peer influence. Your child is battling with um what's this called, social media use, technology use. Your child is battling with conflict with friends. Your child is battling with academic stress. Your child is battling with distraction. Your child is, whatever challenge your child is battling with, let's use that as a goal setting. Let's use that to set goals for them. So, for example, the child that is always distracted by technology and screen time, set a goal. Let's both work with a child to set a goal. A child that is having a challenge between balancing independence and responsibility, turn it into a goal setting opportunity for them. Okay, we're going to set goals. You're going to learn how to become responsible. You're going to set goals. You're going to learn how to overcome peer pressure. We're going to set goals. You're going to learn how to navigate your adolescent years. Turn these So apart from turning them to opportunities, also turn them into goal setting avenue where they set goals. And when it comes to setting of goals, collaborate with them, work with them in setting these goals. Let them identify the goals, identify things they want to learn, or identify things they want to do, and they break this down into actionable steps. You create a timeline for them. You as a parent, you also try to monitor progress, and you would see that your child would be able to overcome these challenges. Now, um when your child has been able to set his goal, your child has been able to break the goals down into smaller achievable steps, and your child is actually working on this monitoring. You're not allowing the child to, you're also monitoring with the child. When your child makes headway, when your child, becomes makes is successful about is able to achieve these goals, it's important that we celebrate them. I've spoken about that earlier. Let's learn to celebrate their wins. Let's not just focus only on what they're not to feel. They want to be appreciated, especially they want to be appreciated, affirmed, and validated by their parents. So when they do things, let's learn to appreciate. Let's praise their efforts. Let's praise specific action. Let's be specific in praising what they've done. This We need to also teach them about resilience and adaptability when it comes to challenge. Okay, so he says, should they be taught about the victim culture that is prevalent in the younger generation today? Should they be taught? Oh, yes. As a parent, you need to teach them about that, being victimized. No, we should teach them about that. It's very, very important. Thank you so much, Lydia, on for that question. So I was talking about building resilience in our adolescents, teaching them that. So thank you for still holding on. So building resilience is very, very important. Grit, resilience is very important during the adolescent years. If you remember when I was talking about turning these challenges into opportunities. And what do I mean by that? These challenges are avenue for us to teach our children life skills. These challenges are opportunity for us to teach our children life skills, resilience, grit, problem solving, creative thinking, critical thinking, decision making. emotional intelligence. These life skills, in one of my books, um, preparing your adolescent for independent living, I wrote a whole lot on these different life skills. If you've not bought any of my books, please, you can go to my website and and get my book. You know, parenting is not just about, just it parenting involves you learning skills for yourself and also teaching your children these skills, especially if you are raising an adolescent. One of the things I tell parents is that, see, that's for the 14 years God has given to us as adolescent, from age 10 to 24. Those 14 years is for us to equip our children with life skills. It's for us to equip our children with skills, values, um, tools for them to become resilient, for them to become responsible individuals when they grow up. So the last thing I'm talking about is, let's build our children, let's equip them with skills to face these challenges. Like I said, if there's a skill you've noticed that your child is lacking, set goals concerning that skill with your child. Collaborate with your child. Set goals for that child. And when you set goals with the child, you be there to monitor the child's progress. You're not to be there as a monitoring spirit, so please. You're there to monitor the child's progress. When you monitor the child's progress, your child feels confident that, yes, my mom is here, my dad is here supporting me on this journey. And this would also boost their self-confidence. So part of the things we do are this, for if you're just joining and if you just stumbled upon my video or something, one of the things we do at the Smart Parenting coaching academies, that we have coaching programs, we have group programs, and we have individualized coaching program for parents. Now the group program is starting in January and it runs for 3 months every quarter. So we have the group program that runs for 3 months, and we have the individualized program that runs for 6 months. So for parents, so the group program runs for 3 months, the individualized program runs for 6 months. So if you want to learn more on how to raise your adolescent, if you want to get more skills, more tools, more strategy on raising these children effectively, please, you need to register for our upcoming Smart Parenting Coaching Academy. It's starting in January. So for the group starts in January till March, while the individualized is a 6 month program that starts from January to mid year. So in case you're interested, you can call the number flashing on there. That's our number to book your slot. And also, you can also make your payments into that account. Now, for those who are here, like everybody is giving Black Friday discounts. We're also offering discounts to parents that are ready to register to between today and Monday. Please, you can just call that number and the admin would speak with you. So I just want to say thank you to everyone who's joined. I've spoken a whole lot about the different challenges adolescents face. I also spoke about how we can help them to overcome, or how we can guide them through these life challenges by providing them with solution focused strategies. And I'm sure you've learned a lot. Please, I would always like to hear from you. You can drop your comment in the comment section. Let's have a conversation. Let it not be just me talking. Thank you, Lydia, for dropping your comments. Other members, other people watching, please drop your comments and let's have a conversation. If you have a question, you can put your question down. If you have a contribution to make, you can also put your contribution in the comment section. Thank you so much, everyone. So have a nice evening and good night. Bye.